이제 신랑부 이정양은 그 일가 친척과 친지를 모신 자리에서 일생 동안 고락을 한 것입니다.
In Gangnam, there was a famous DJ named Gichul, known not just for his music but also for his fiery temper. This caught the eye of a feared crime boss, Jan Kenchul. Right after one of his shows, Jan approached Gichul with a deal. He would open a dance hall with Gichul as the owner, and profits would be split equally. Tempted by the offer, Gichul agreed, hoping this was his path to riches. But a year later, Gichul was still broke, mocked by the rich kids around him, and unable to retaliate, all because Jan Kenchul controlled everything. Though Gichul was the owner, he was just a puppet. Jan never shared a single coin of profit. Desperate and cornered, Gichul went to Jan and suggested they start selling drugs, but Jan snapped, slapped Gichul across the face, and warned him never to bring it up again. Humiliated and furious, Gichul decided to strike back. He gathered his loyal men and made a plan. First, he contacted the leader of a rival gang and proposed an alliance to take down Jan together. They plotted to take over Gangnam. Jan, unaware of the betrayal, let his men party that night. Gichul launched his attack. His men took out Jan's followers one by one. Jan suffered heavy losses, but managed to regroup and launch a counterattack. A brutal fight broke out between the two sides with no words exchanged, just violence. Soon Jan's side began to fall, seeing no way out. Jan tried to escape, but Gichul and his men caught up to him with no options left. Jan surrendered and agreed to hand over Gangnam. Gichul decided not to kill him and ordered his men to tie him up, but Jan was cunning while no one was watching. He grabbed a pair of scissors and stabbed Taeho, one of Gichul's closest men. The wound was fatal. That was the last straw. Gichul lost control, pulled out a knife, and killed Jan on the spot. After that, he went to the boss behind the scenes, told him Jan had betrayed the organization, and showed a photo as proof. Then he made an offer. If the boss let him take Jan's place, he would pay 50 million won every month. The boss accepted, and Gichul became the new boss. Not long after, an incident shook Gichul's bar. A girl high on drugs fell from a building and died, drawing immediate attention from the police. The victim was Japanese, which pushed Japanese authorities to join the investigation. Both sides suspected the drugs came from a Japanese crime boss and were smuggled into Korea through a gang. The two countries decided to work together to infiltrate and dismantle the network. But to pull off such a mission, they needed someone unknown to the underworld, someone who could spy without raising suspicion. The target was Junmo, a low-ranking police officer with no fame or reputation, but what he lacked in career, he made up for at home. His wife Yo-jung was beautiful, smart, and came from a proud police family. She worked in the security department and was admired by everyone, but her family looked down on Junmo, considering him unworthy of her. Despite this, Yo-jung always stood by his side. She believed in him and was sure he would make something of himself one day. Then came Captain Do-hyung with a dangerous offer. He asked Junmo to go undercover in the gang, but Junmo refused right away. He had a family and didn't want to risk their safety when persuasion failed. The captain reported back, forcing the superior to step in. The superior cornered Junmo, reminding him that his father was a drug addict, a fact that could destroy his career. But if Junmo accepted the mission, the superior promised a promotion. The words hit Junmo hard that night. He couldn't sleep by morning. He made his decision. He went to the station and accepted the mission on one condition. If he succeeded, he wanted to be promoted 2 ranks. The superior agreed without hesitation, then laid out the task. Junmo had to infiltrate the gang, get close to Gichul, and gather evidence of their crimes. But the real challenge was that Gichul was surrounded by loyal blood brothers, making it nearly impossible to get in. Since childhood, the only way to get close to Gichul was to pose as Taeho's cousin. Taeho was the loyal brother who died fighting Jan Kenchul earlier. To pull this off, the police helped Junmo assume a new identity. From now on, no one would know he was a cop. Junmo officially resigned from the local station and headed straight to Gangnam, his first stop Gichul's restaurant. He asked the staff to call Gichul out, but their attitude was dismissive, so Junmo created a scene to draw attention. It worked. Gichul showed up and immediately noticed the watch on Junmo's wrist. It was Taeho's watch. stage, Junmo introduced himself as Taeho's cousin and demanded answers about his brother's death. He cursed. Gichul blamed him and then walked away, leaving Gichul stunned to confirm the story. Gichul went to Taeho's house and asked his father. Taeho's father confirmed the two were close cousins since childhood. Everything was carefully arranged by the police. The next day, Junmo returned to see Gichul. This time, Gichul handed him a bag of money and told him to leave. Junmo refused, yelled at Gichul and called him trash. Gichul's men rushed in to attack, but Junmo fought back hard, knocking each of them down with ease. This surprised Gichul, and as Junmo walked out, Gichul's opinion of him changed that night. Gichul visited Junmo alone and offered him a place in the gang, but before Junmo could respond, a group of men suddenly attacked. They were John Kenchul's followers, looking for revenge, but Junmo and Gichul didn't back down, despite being only two. They held their ground and fought together. Junmo used this as a chance to prove himself and gave it everything he had. Quickly, he defeated all the attackers. Gichul personally broke the leader's leg after the fight. Junmo officially earned Gichul's trust and became the youngest brother in the gang. Every day, Junmo followed the gang's big brothers to collect debts around town. Meanwhile, his wife Yojung discovered he had quit his job at the police station, worried for his safety. She tried to reach out and invited him to a meal, hoping he would open up when they met. Yojung stayed silent, waiting for Junmo to explain. Knowing he couldn't hide anymore, Junmo began telling the truth. But before he could finish, Gichul and his juniors showed up. They spotted the two eating together. Gichul immediately recognized Yojung as a police officer. Without hesitation, he confronted Junmo and demanded an explanation. Caught off guard, Junmo lied and said his father had been arrested and he needed Yojung's help. Although Gichul let it slide for now, he secretly placed Junmo on his blacklist that night. While the others slept, Junmo risked contacting Yojung again. He was safe, but Yojung remained anxious. She wanted to pull him out, but was stopped by the commander, who warned that any interference now could blow the entire operation and make Junmo's sacrifice meaningless. So Yojung had no choice but to wait patiently. What Gichul hadn't told anyone was that he already knew Yojung from long ago. They were childhood sweethearts, went to the same high school, and even wore matching necklaces as love tokens. But after graduation, Gichul disappeared and they lost contact. Yet Gichul never let go of those feelings. He still wore the necklace around his neck, and seeing Yojung with Junmo stirred deep suspicion. Gichul ordered an investigation into her background the next day. While Junmo was taking a shower, Gichul showed up with a file fearing exposure. Junmo secretly gripped a hidden weapon, but as he read the file, he breathed a sigh of relief. The police had altered records and listed Yojung's husband as Do Hyung instead of him. That night, while Junmo and another man were on patrol, they spotted a suspicious car packed with masked thugs. Without a second thought, Junmo gave chase, but to his surprise, the vehicle was heading straight toward Gichul. Acting fast, Junmo rescued Gichul and faced the attackers alone. Inside, Gichul drew his gun, but the chaos kept him from firing. Eventually, the thugs fled. No one died, but Junmo suffered a serious head injury because of his bravery. Gichul began to trust him and made Junmo his personal bodyguard. The next day, Gichul asked Junmo to escort him to the hospital where Yojung's mother was staying. When they arrived, Gichul wanted Junmo to join him, but Junmo refused, fearing exposure. Unexpectedly, Yojung's mother recognized Gichul right away and even opened up to him. Gichul then pushed her around the park in a wheelchair while Junmo watched uncomfortably. Meanwhile, the Korean boss behind Gichul was getting frustrated. Gichul had been expanding his territory and ignoring orders, seeing him as a threat. The Korean boss reached out to a Japanese gang, asking for help in eliminating Gichul, unaware that Gichul had been adopted by the Japanese gang's leader. Not long after Gichul got word from his adoptive father, and the Korean boss was taken out, clearing the path for Gichul to become the new head of the Korean underworld. To celebrate the next morning, Gichul went fishing with two of his men. His subordinates said Gichul often went on fishing trips that lasted days. They then went out drinking, leaving Junmo alone in the office. Seizing the moment, Junmo turned off the lights and snapped photos of every document on the desk. Then Junmo sneaked into Gichul's room to investigate. He found a locked door and tried everyone's birthdays, but none worked. Suddenly, he remembered his wife's birthday, and to his shock, that was the correct code. Jealousy crept in. But with the mission at stake, Junmo pushed his emotions aside and collected the evidence. He then handed it over to the police. The police quickly discovered that Gichul's fishing trip included only 3 men, and strangely, none of them brought any fishing gear. This raised suspicions that the trip was just a cover and the real goal was smuggling. Meanwhile, Gichul had just reached the port when his men found a flashlight left behind during the previous day's fight. Inside it was a police emblem. Instantly suspicious, Gichul sensed a setup and rushed back unexpectedly. On the way, he ran into a rival gang trespassing on his turf. Without hesitation, Gichul and his men ambushed them before they could even react back at the base. Junmo was asleep until someone woke him and dragged him to Gichul's hideout. There, Gichul and his crew were beating the leader of the rival gang. Gichul handed Junmo a gun and ordered him to execute the man as proof of loyalty. Shaken, Junmo took the gun but couldn't bring himself to do it. Gichul pressured him relentlessly until Junmo fired but missed the shot. Gichul was furious. Seo Jong-ryul grabbed the gun and finished the job himself, then told Gichul that killing isn't easy and Junmo needed more time. Gichul agreed and let Junmo go, but his men were growing suspicious. Too many strange things had happened since Junmo showed up, and they warned Gichul to be careful with him. At the same time, Junmo was struggling. Despite all his efforts, he still hadn't earned Gichul's full trust. Desperate and out of options, he contacted the police for help. Unexpectedly, the police turned to Yojung, knowing her husband's life was now in danger. Yojung couldn't ignore the situation any longer, so she called Gichul directly and asked him out for a drink. Gichul was thrilled and immediately told Junmo to drive him to the bar when they arrived. Gichul made Junmo wait outside, but the moment Junmo realized the person inside was his wife, he was furious. He never expected the police would involve Yojung like this, but the police didn't care. They only wanted to solve the case inside the restaurant. Yojung thanked Gichul for visiting her mother and handed him an old photo. It was a picture of them together from high school, taken at that very restaurant where they shared their first kiss. The memories hit Gichul hard. Then Yojung gently asked him to take care of Junmo more after dinner. Gichul offered to drive her home, putting Junmo in an awkward spot, watching his wife with another man but unable to say a word. Gichul asked Yojung about her husband, and she lied, saying they were divorced. A lie that pierced Junmo like a blade. That very night, Yojung's mother passed away. But Junmo didn't know until the next morning when Gichul told him to drive to the funeral. Shocked and heartbroken, Junmo didn't dare show up, fearing his identity would be exposed. Later, Junmo returned in a foul mood and drank heavily, confiding in Jel about how he wanted to be successful and rich like Gichul. Hearing Junmo's ambition, Gichul became more interested, believing true greatness required such desire, so Gichul agreed to help him succeed. Junmo seized the moment and asked to join the fishing team, but Gichul remained cautious, unwilling to let anyone new in. Still, Junmo kept begging until Gichul finally softened a little, but only on one condition. Junmo had to help him get close to Yojung. The demand infuriated Junmo, but for the mission's sake, he had no choice but to agree. The next day, Seo Jong-ryul approached Junmo, reminding him to choose his people wisely since not everyone in the gang could be trusted. Later, Gichul told Junmo to find a new way to earn money, saying relying on their superiors wasn't the answer. On the other side, John Kenchul's juniors took Moon to a rival gang of Gichul. They planned to use the money to hire someone to eliminate Gichul and avenge John Kenchul first. They used the money to bribe Gichul's juniors, tempting them to betray him and leak crucial information. Coincidentally, the next day, Gichul was set to go fishing with Junmo as a test. Gichul told Baksu to let Junmo join and ensure everything went smoothly. They planned to leave that night, though Baksu was unhappy. He didn't dare to question the order. Heavy rain poured as Gichul and Junmo rode in one car, while Baksu followed alone in another. Halfway through, Baksu's car suffered a flat tire. Just then, two cars sped past, chasing Junmo's vehicle. Sensing danger, Baksu stayed back but didn't alert Gichul. Soon, Junmo's car was blocked. Strangers approached, forcing Junmo to crash into a sand pile. The attackers swarmed in, assaulting both Junmo and Gichul. In the chaos, Gichul shouted at Junmo to stay conscious. Not long after, Junmo was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Meanwhile, Gichul received a call from the Chinese side demanding compensation for failing to pick up the goods. Furious, Gichul ordered Seo Jong-ryul to investigate, everyone convinced there was a traitor, since only a few knew his fishing schedule. Jong-ryul immediately inspected Baksu's car at the repair shop and noticed signs of tampering on the tire. At the same time, Yojung got the devastating news about Junmo's condition. Overwhelmed with worry, she blamed the police for their inaction. The police chief insisted it was an unforeseen accident, and they hadn't been informed in time. Devastated, Yojung pleaded with him to let her join the case to help bring her husband back safely. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Junmo regained consciousness. Gichul assured him he was the only person he could trust. But when Junmo brought up the topic of illegal drug trafficking during the fishing trip, Jong-ryul still didn't say a word, but soon returned from his investigation, admitting he hadn't uncovered everything yet. However, Gichul already had a plan to expose the spy he brought Junmo before the entire gang, and announced that from now on, Junmo would be the new big brother, placing him on equal footing with Jong-ryul and Baksu. But Gichul noticed someone missing from the room and realized that the absent man was the traitor who had been lured by money from the rival faction. At that moment, the traitor was packing to escape from his private house, unaware that Gichul's men were already waiting. He was caught and hung upside down. Then Gichul ordered Jang Ryol to eliminate him. But before that could happen, Junmo picked up a baseball bat and viciously beat the traitor, shocking everyone watching. But it was Junmo's way of saving the man's life as expected. Gichul spared him, only kicking him out of the gang. Later, Gichul gathered his senior leaders and announced that the Chinese would arrive in 2 days, so they had to prepare thoroughly for the meeting. The key person involved was Professor Min, a drug manufacturing expert who was now wanted by the South Korean police with an arrest warrant even sent to China. Gichul's gang was tasked with extraditing him to China at any cost. Just then, Yojung called Gichul and asked him to go out on the same day the Chinese were set to arrive. And even though business was crucial, Gichul chose to go on the date, leaving Junmo in charge of receiving the Chinese guests. The next day, Junmo arrived alone at the airport, expecting Professor Min. But instead, a young girl showed up. Returning to the hotel, Junmo ran into 2 Japanese men who were juniors of Gichul's adoptive father. They had been sent to negotiate with Gichul, but he was still on his date with Yojung, handling operations via phone. After the date, Gichul met the Chinese party. The girl sent by Professor Min was named Sunny. In this arrangement, the Chinese supplied the goods, Gichul distributed them and sold them to the Japanese for profit. But due to recent chaos, the Chinese suffered heavy losses and now wanted to deal directly with the Japanese, bypassing Gichul. Unless he cleaned up his internal mess fast, the entire business would slip through his fingers, forced into a corner. Gichul agreed to attend a 3-party meeting the next day, and Junmo immediately reported this development to his superiors, who gave him a hidden listening device, hoping he'd gather vital intel unexpectedly. The next day, when Gichul and Junmo arrived at the meeting place, they were immediately searched by guards, sensing trouble. Junmo had no choice but to let Gichul enter first. While he rushed outside to remove the listening device strapped to his leg, he hid it inside a cigarette pack and managed to slip through the security check. But because of his high rank, Junmo wasn't allowed into the actual meeting, rendering the eavesdropping plan useless. Things weren't smooth inside either. The Japanese delegates demanded to speak with Sunny privately, and Gichul was promptly kicked out of the room. Meanwhile, outside, Junmo was spotted by police from the Gangnam district, who came to arrest him for disturbing public order during the pier incident. They had no idea Junmo was actually an undercover officer, and the moment they saw him and Gichul, they charged. Junmo reacted instantly, throwing himself in harm's way to stall the officers, giving Gichul and the others a chance to escape. He was brutally beaten by the fat officer, but just in time, Junmo's team arrived and rescued him. After this incident, Gichul's trust in Junmo deepened. Even Sunny began seeing him differently. She even arranged for someone to treat Junmo's injured back. But just then, the fat policeman stormed into Gichul's office, wielding a sledgehammer, and smashed everything, demanding Junmo show himself, not wanting to drag Gichul down. Junmo turned himself in, but not before striking a deal with Gichul. He would leave the police station in time for the critical Japan-China mission. Junmo walked into the station calm and composed, even cracking jokes with the fat officer, infuriating him so much that he started another brutal beating. Junmo didn't fight back. He knew the captain would be there soon. And sure enough, the captain arrived shortly after and lashed out at the local police for laying hands on a criminal without orders. The officers had no choice but to release Junmo. He returned to Gichul's place, where he was greeted with a lavish meal. But everyone was puzzled. How could Junmo stroll out of the station so easily? Even Baksu found it hard to believe something wasn't adding up, and that made Gichul suspicious. Uncomfortable, Gichul suspected Baksu was jealous of Junmo, so he kicked him out of the room. Inside, Gichul gave Junmo an important mission. He noticed Sunny seemed interested in Junmo, so he ordered him to get closer to her to keep their business alive. But Sunny had no plans to cooperate anymore, because Gichul once swapped high-quality goods with inferior ones, ruining the Chinside's reputation. Hearing this, Junmo stepped in, assuring Sunny that if her side continued working with them, he would personally handle the transport, guaranteeing no more tricks. But Sunny still refused, saying she needed time to think. That night, chaos erupted as Baksu's bar was raided by the police. They caught a drug user and immediately assumed Baksu was the supplier, taking him into custody. However, without evidence, the police had to let him go. Gichul quickly heard the news and grew suspicious. Seeing Baksu walk out without a scratch convinced Gichul that he was the spy. Despite everything they'd been through, Gichul decided to strip Baksu of his leadership position. Devastated, Baksu didn't argue. He simply turned and walked away. But Jang Ryol wasn't done. As the elevator doors closed, Jang Ryol attacked Baksu, beating him down without mercy. All this time, Baksu had been blocking his path, and today, Jang Ryol took his revenge when the elevator opened again. Baksu was a battered mess. Even after everything, Gichul continued dating Yojung and took her to church every day. But today, something unexpected happened. Gichul accidentally overheard Yojung sharing her story with the people there. Through her words, he realized she had never moved, which completely contradicted what Junmo had told him earlier. Junmo had claimed that Yojung moved so they could get to know each other now. Suspicious, Gichul hired a detective to investigate Junmo, but Junmo quickly caught wind of it, worried about his cover. Junmo rushed to confront the detective. By then, the detective had uncovered everything. Not only that Junmo was a cop, but also that Yojung was his wife. Just as the detective was about to report to Gichul, Junmo arrived, spotting Junmo. The detective ran but tripped on an electric wire and collapsed. Barely alive, Junmo showed no mercy. He grabbed the file and left. Meanwhile, Sunny's father had a change of heart. He told Sunny to deal directly with the Japanese, cutting Gichul out. But when Sunny went to negotiate, the Japanese forced a price on her, ending talks immediately. In frustration, she stormed out back to Gichul after waiting too long. Without updates from the detective, he went to check himself, only to learn the detective had died in an accident. This news raised even more suspicion about Junmo. Although Junmo appeared normal, Gichul's instincts told him something was off. He even started to think Baksu might have been wrongly accused. Meanwhile, Junmo and Yojung were cornered. The captain ordered Yojung to keep Gichul distracted to protect Junmo, so Yojung immediately called Gichul and asked him out. Thrilled that the woman he adored was finally showing interest, Gichul didn't hesitate to say yes. The next morning, Junmo woke up to see Gichul sweeping the floor. Puzzled, Junmo asked and learned a special guest was expected at the office. Gichul had even prepared a suit for Junmo to wear when meeting Sunny. Soon Sunny arrived, but just as Junmo was about to leave with her, the other guest showed up, and to his shock, it was his wife now. Both Junmo and Yojung were caught in an awkward situation. Yojung was there to date Gichul, while Junmo had to entertain Sunny. Despite the discomfort, they both played along for the sake of their mission. Yojung even carried a gun, ready to use it if Gichul turned on her. Meanwhile, Junmo and Sunny walked around playing traditional Korean games. But Junmo couldn't stop worrying about Yojung. He kept calling, but Yojung was with Gichul and couldn't answer, which only made Junmo more anxious. Sunny, however, was enjoying herself and wanted to take their relationship from business to romance, leaving Junmo with no choice but to go along. At the same time, Yojung noticed how important she'd become to Gichul, so she boldly confessed her feelings. Gichul, overwhelmed with joy, didn't hold back and kissed her. Yojung struggled to stay calm and not blow her cover. After that, Gichul took her back to the office and even made his men respectfully address her as sister-in-law. This alarmed one of his subordinates, who thought getting involved with a cop was too dangerous. But Gichul was firm, saying it wouldn't affect the gang. Meanwhile, Sunny called her father and declared her decision to still choose. Gichul acted as the intermediary to deliver the goods, but the one handling the handoff was Junmo. So Junmo's mission was a success. Unexpectedly, Sunny demanded he repay the favor by sleeping with her. But just as things reached a climax, a bodyguard stormed in, interrupting everything. He announced that Sunny's father had decided to cooperate with Japan, and that the Japanese would attack Gichul's gang that very night. Hearing this, Junmo panicked, knowing his wife was still at the office. He immediately tried calling Gichul, but Guol was busy chatting with Yojung and ignored the phone, unable to reach him in time. Junmo tried again, but it was already too late. The Japanese had launched their assault. Chaos erupted as Gichul finally realized what was happening. The only thing he could do was grab Yojung and escape outside. The two gangs were at war. Junmo raced through the streets, desperate to save Yojung. When he arrived, he was horrified. Blood covered the ground, and bodies were everywhere. In the chaos, he searched for Yojung. And when their eyes met something inside, Junmo snapped. He picked up a machete and charged at the enemy, cutting down anyone in his way. Junmo was no longer a cop. He was a man possessed, a grim reaper drenched in blood. Even Yojung froze in fear at the sight of him. This wasn't the man she knew. Very soon, every Japanese soldier lay dead. Sunny arrived only to witness her lover transformed into a monster, devastated by the bloodbath, to take revenge. Gaul led his men into Japanese territory, and Junmo volunteered to go first. He stormed in, grabbed a Japanese underling by the neck, and sliced his tendons. But the Japanese leader stayed calm. Gichul sent a clear message to the leader. Tell your adoptive father that if he doesn't come to Korea to bow and apologize, there will be no peace. Meanwhile, after the nightmare unfolded, Yojung returned home, still haunted by the image of her husband turning into a blood-soaked savage. The gentle man she once knew was gone. Meanwhile, Junmo couldn't shake the memory of another man shielding his wife, while he stood helpless, unable to even call her to offer comfort. Unlike Junmo, Gichul reached out to Yojung, but she was in no mood to talk, so he left a message, assuring her that she would never witness such horror again. The next day, the gang held a meeting after the chaos. Many members refused to continue working with the Japanese, but Junmo disagreed. He argued that Japan was a vital business partner, and provoking them could lead to huge losses, taking full control of the situation. Junmo stepped in at that moment. The fat policeman from earlier showed up again. He said he found a lighter at the detective's murder scene and believed its owner was the killer Gichul, who also wanted the murderer caught, told the cop to investigate, and promised a reward if he succeeded. Outside, the cop ran into Junmo and decided to test him. He flashed the lighter, saying it was found at the police station and belonged to Junmo, but Junmo firmly denied ever seeing it. Frustrated, the cop stormed off empty-handed. Later, Junmo approached the Japanese representative, bowed deeply, and apologized on Gichul's behalf. His humility worked, and the tension between the two sides began to ease. The next day, Gichul's adoptive father landed in Korea and went straight to see him, wasting no time. He hurled insults, calling Gichul a traitorous bastard who bit the hand that fed him, but Gichul didn't back down. He stared him down and warned him to watch his mouth. Tensions flared. The underlings on both sides nearly came to blows. Enraged by being challenged, the adoptive father stormed out without another word. Outside, he unleashed his fury on his own men, leaving them bitter and resentful. Meanwhile, Sunny secretly met with Junmo, revealing that her father had cut off ties with the Korean side and wanted to work directly with the Japanese. Junmo proposed that he and Sunny handle the deal, bypassing both her father and Gichul together. They approached Gichul's adoptive father, the Japanese tycoon. Sunny stated that she would still use a middleman for delivery, but Junmo, not Gichul, would now handle it. Unexpectedly, the Japanese boss demanded that Junmo accept him as his adoptive father to proceed with the deal to prove his loyalty. Junmo was handed a knife and ordered to cut off one of his fingers when he hesitated. The underlings moved to force him, but in a shocking twist, Mikako, the woman beside the Japanese boss, turned on him. She betrayed her master and seized power right then and there. She calmly took his place at the table and began negotiating with Junmo. Both Junmo and Sunny were stunned. It turned out Mikako and Gichul had conspired together in advance to pull off this betrayal. Just then, Gichul appeared and without a word took Junmo back to the base. Gichul said that after this mission, he wanted to disappear into seclusion and live a peaceful life with Yojung. His position would be handed over to Junmo because within the gang, Junmo was the only one Gichul truly trusted. This decision shocked Junmo and pushed him to speed up the investigation. The next day, Junmo brought Joel to a shopping mall inauguration, but unexpectedly Gichul also brought Yojung. Seeing his wife acting close to another man left Junmo helpless. Just then, the fat policeman appeared out of nowhere and sat beside Gichul, throwing insults and provoking him. Gichul was furious but held back, knowing it could be a trap, and he was right outside. The fat cop had set up hidden cameras to capture everyone associated with Gichul. After the event, Sunny invited Gichul's group to dinner. But the moment she saw Yojung, she mocked her, questioning how a police officer could fall for a drug lord and suggesting Yojung might be a double agent working cases by day and pushing drugs by night. Sunny even offered to sell Yojung high-quality goods at a great price. Then she introduced Junmo as her boyfriend, leaving Yojung shocked and seething with rage, though she couldn't do anything about it. Sunny later confessed her true feelings to Junmo. She genuinely loved him and dreamed of a quiet life together to make that happen. She even forged a passport, hoping to stay close to him for as long as possible. But Junmo rejected her. Meanwhile, the fat policeman arrested one of Gichul's men and under pressure forced him to reveal how the goods were moved. The man gave up a name, Park, the man who stored and distributed the drugs. The cops set a trap and caught him. But to his shock, the old man Park turned out to be Junmo's father, and not only did he refuse to speak, he even threatened the fat cop right to his face. Mr. Park warned that both his son and daughter-in-law were high-ranking police officers, and if he were harmed in any way, the fat cop would be in serious trouble. Realizing his tactic had failed, the fat cop had no choice but to release Mr. Park, but secretly assigned a team to follow him, hoping to gather more intel. Junmo's team leader, Do Hong, quickly caught wind of this and feared that Mr. Park might leak something that would expose Junmo. To prevent this, Do Hong brought a large sum of money to silence Mr. Park. Around the same time, a girl showed up and falsely confessed that Cole, one of Gichul's trusted juniors, was involved in a murder. Surprisingly, the fat policeman believed her, unaware that the girl had been hired by Do Hong to shift the investigation away from Junmo. The very next day, the fat cop stormed into Gichul's office and slapped handcuffs on Jong Reol himself, warning Gichul that he would be next. Enraged, Gichul nearly lost control. Jang Ryol assumed he was being arrested for murdering a rival gang leader. On the same day, Gichul tested Junmo, but only a few close insiders knew about that day. Gichul immediately suspected that Baksu had betrayed him and leaked the information. With the situation spiraling, Gichul's underling told Gall to produce a large batch quickly and then lay low. Gichul agreed, since all he wanted now was to live quietly with Yojung. He informed Diang of this plan. Jinmo believed this mission might finally close the case, but Diang grew concerned, seeing how reckless Junmo had become, fearing he'd forgotten he was a cop and might risk everything like a gangster. Meanwhile, Jang Ryol was being interrogated non-stop at the police station, but he refused to speak a word, pushing the fat cop to the brink of fury. On the other hand, Junmo went to meet Sunny and asked if they could import more goods, but Sunny thought it was too dangerous with the police searching everywhere. One wrong move, and they'd be caught. But Junmo insisted, and with complete trust in him, Sunny finally agreed. Despite the risk, the increased orders pushed the factory to full capacity. Workers collapsed from exhaustion not long after Gichul and Junmo left to handle the import, leaving a junior in charge of watching the police and the office unguarded. Baksu used this chance to break in and take everything. After a long investigation, the fat policeman found out that Yojung was actually a police officer, but he couldn't understand why she cheated on her husband with Gichul, so he decided to confirm it himself. Meanwhile, Junmo and Gichul arrived to pick up the goods. The Chinese ship was already waiting, and they quickly loaded the drugs onto it. Once done, the ship departed, and Gichul moved the goods to storage. Junmo took this chance to note the location of the trade with the Japanese and reported it to his commander so the police could prepare a raid. But on the way to the meeting point, Gichul and Junmo's car met with an accident caused by Baksu's men while they were unconscious. Baksu's underling stole all the goods. When Gichul came to, everything was gone, and Junmo was still unconscious. Gichul managed to pull him out just before the car exploded. When Gichul found out Baksu was behind it, he was furious and ordered his men to hunt him down back at the office. Gichul discovered all the money was also stolen. This pushed him over the edge. He vowed revenge on Baksu. The Japanese then called and gave Gichul a week to fix everything. Meanwhile, Junmo met Sunny again and apologized, but Sunny didn't blame him. Instead, she encouraged him, and during their talk, she accidentally revealed the production base in China. Junmo thought deeply and told Sunny to return to China for a while, promising she could come back once everything was resolved. Then Junmo immediately reported the base's location to his superiors. The Chinese police were alerted and quickly took action. The Korean commander was thrilled because they were about to catch the entire drug ring in one sweep after being detained for a while. Without solid evidence, Jang Ryol was finally released. His underling handed him a file on Yojung's investigation, and they both waited outside the police station. Inside, Yojung was furious at Captain Do-hyung for allowing the fat cop to dig into Junmo's past. Apparently, the fat cop had even gone to Junmo's hometown to collect evidence. Do-hyung had no choice but to confront the fat cop and demand he stop interfering. But the fat cop just laughed and mocked him, accusing him of being betrayed by his own wife, unknowingly mistaking Do-hyung for Yojung's husband outside Jang Ryol, and his men saw Do-hyung and also assumed he was Yojung's husband. Suddenly, one of them remembered where they'd seen him before. It was at the notary office when they picked up documents. Jang Ryol immediately ordered them to take him there. Meanwhile, time was ticking, and Junmo still hadn't located the missing goods. He lost his mind and started lashing out at everyone. Even Gichul got irritated and told him to get out and cool off later. Junmo visited Do-hyung. Yojung was deeply worried about her husband, seeing how much stress he was under, but Junmo didn't care. Instead, he blamed Yojung for getting involved and ruining his focus. Then he turned on Do-hyung, accusing him of dragging both him and his wife into this mess. Junmo had completely snapped and didn't care about anyone anymore. Meanwhile, Jang Ryol and his men stormed into the notary office, forcing the terrified employee to spill Do-hyung's identity under threat. The employee revealed that Do-hyung was a drug enforcement officer. Hearing this, Jang Ryol came up with a plan. He ordered the employee to lure Do-hyung into a meeting and then called Junmo to come. That night, Do-hyung arrived at the notary office only to find it shrouded in darkness. Suddenly, Jang Ryol emerged from the shadows while his underling locked the door, trapping them inside, forcing a deadly confrontation. Do-hyung was brutally beaten unconscious shortly after Junmo showed up. Shocked to see Do-hyung tied to a chair, Jang Ryol then revealed Do-hyung's police ID and his real name, which had nothing to do with Yojung's supposed husband. Jang Ryol now believed Junmo was an undercover agent. He handed Junmo a gun, demanding he prove his loyalty by killing Do-hyung. When Junmo froze, Gichul suddenly opened fire with no choice left. Junmo snapped and launched a furious assault on Jang Ryol, punching him over and over until the police arrived and broke up the fight. Jang Ryol was arrested on the spot and taken to the station while Junmo rushed to Do-hyung's side, devastated to see his ally had sacrificed himself. On the other hand, Gichul went to meet Yojong, who begged him to quit the job, but Gichul refused coldly, saying he had to finish this case before leaving the world disappointing. Yojong deeply suddenly, Gichul got a call. Something had happened at the office. He rushed back only to find his worst nightmare. All his juniors had turned against him, and sitting in his chair was none other than Baksu. Gichul stood stunned as the fat policeman arrived, not to assist but to arrest him for murder. It turned out the fat policeman had been working with Baksu all along in exchange for helping eliminate Jong Ryol. The police would support Baksu's business going forward. Gichul was dragged to the police station. Just then Yojong arrived and saw everything, fearing Gichul's arrest would ruin Junmo's plan. She immediately called Junmo, who jumped into his car and raced to intercept the police vehicle. He rammed it head-on, rescuing Gichul just in time after Do-young's death. The commander launched a crackdown on the entire gang, arresting every drug addict in the area. Baksu lost his entire customer base. Desperate, he planned to go to Japan to sell the remaining drugs. But before he could leave, Sunny's bodyguard showed up, demanding Baksu return the stolen goods. Baksu panicked and asked to meet Sunny to discuss connecting with the Japanese side, and promised to take over Gichul's role in the trade. Unexpectedly, Sunny agreed to meet. She inspected the goods and confirmed their authenticity, then said she would introduce him to the Japanese client. Her bodyguard was clearly worried, warning Sunny not to trust Baksu. But what he didn't know was that Sunny was already working with Junmo to set a trap and lure Baksu's gang to the delivery site. On the other hand, the fat policeman, despite being severely injured, kept digging into Yojong's identity, and what he uncovered shocked him. Yojong and Junmo were husband and wife, and both of them were undercover cops. Without wasting a second, he rushed to Sunny and revealed everything, that Junmo was a cop and his wife was Yojong. Sunny felt like the ground had collapsed beneath her. She never imagined Junmo had been lying to her all along. Devastated, she still decided to call Junmo for the truth. Knowing his cover was blown, Junmo confessed, but said he had no intention of arresting her. Instead, he told her to leave Korea and hide in Hong Kong for a while after the call. Sunny went to confront the fat policeman, but while he was distracted, she struck and killed him. The bodyguard walked in to see the scene. Sunny frozen with blood on her face, terrified by what she had done. The bodyguard told her to run and promised to take care of everything, so with blood still on her face, Sunny fled alone. Meanwhile, Junmo and Gichul were on their way to intercept Baksu's deal, hoping to seize the goods at the last moment. But halfway there, Junmo suddenly pulled a gun and handcuffed Gichul, leaving him shocked. However, Junmo couldn't bring himself to arrest his old friend, so he secretly left the key behind at the delivery site. Baksu and his gang completed the deal with the Japanese. But just then, Junmo appeared alone, thinking he was an easy target. Baksu and his men tried to attack him, but a police car suddenly arrived too late. Baksu's gang realized Junmo was a cop, and they were immediately arrested. At the same time, Jong Ryol, using the key Junmo left behind, managed to escape the Chinese gang's hideout, which was also raided by the police, ending in the arrest of every single member without letting anyone get away. The Japanese boss was also caught red-handed by the police while receiving a pile of drugs in his car. Sunny soon learned that the entire gang had been arrested and she was the only one who escaped, but there was no joy in her heart because this incident had left a wound that would never heal. The case was officially closed. Junmo and Yojong were awarded certificates of merit for their outstanding contributions in taking down the transnational drug ring, but Junmo felt no pride in the medals or honors, the things he once dreamed of. Promotions, recognition, praise now meant nothing because he had lost too much. He lost comrades, lost brotherhood, and even his love for Yojong was no longer the same. When Junmo and Yojong returned home, they were stunned to find Gichul waiting inside, betrayed by the two people he trusted the most. Gichul didn't come for revenge. Instead, he wanted to end his own life and leave them to live with guilt and regret forever. But Junmo didn't give him that chance. He pulled the trigger first. Yojong immediately ran and hugged Gichul, crying for the man who truly loved her. She was moved by his sincerity, and as Junmo watched the scene unfold, his heart shattered from that moment on. Distance grew between Junmo and Yojong. Not long after Junmo visited Gichul's grave, removed his wedding ring, and left. Deep down, he still saw Gichul as a true friend, and perhaps from now till the end of his life, Junmo would live in guilt and sorrow. Maybe Yojong's life would also never be the same. Maybe Gichul's revenge had succeeded in the end. It was a tragic ending. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow the channel for more great movies.